This is problem number 9 from section 9.3. An investment of $81,000 was made by a business club. The investment was split into 3 parts and lasted for 1 year. The first part of the investment earned 8%, the second 6%, and the third 9%. Total interest from the investments was $63.90. The interest from the first investment was 6 times the interest from the second. Find the amounts of the 3 parts of the investment. All right, the 3 things that we need to know are the amounts per investment. So we're going to call X equal to the amount of first investment. Y is the amount of second investment. And then Z is obviously, I'm going to cut this short. This is the dollar for third. Just cut a little short there. Okay. So we know X, Y, and Z all stand for the amounts of investment. We got 3 equations. So the first equation is going to stand for the total investment. The second equation is going to stand for total interest. And the third equation, they gave us the interest from first investment was 6 times higher than the second. So we're going to call this we'll call this the interest condition. Because they're really telling us a condition there. All right, let's start with the total investment. That's the easy one. If we take each of these and add them up, we get 81,000. So X plus Y plus Z equals 81,000. For total interest, it's also easy because we take the percentages, add them up, and we get the total that was made in interest. So we take 0.08x plus 0.06y plus 0.09z equals 63.90. The interest condition now, that one's a little bit more difficult. It says the interest from the first investment was 6 times the interest of the second investment. Now it's talking interest, not amount invested. So that means we got to actually use percentages in this problem. So the interest from the first investment, so we know the interest from the first investment is 0.08x is going to equal 6 times the interest of the second investment. Well, interest of the second investment is 6%. So I'm going to take 6 times 0.06 of the second investment. And that's how I come up with my equation there. I'm literally reading along. The interest from the first investment, that's 0.08x, was 6 times the interest from the second. So 6 times the interest of the second. And I have my third equation. Find the amounts of the 3 parts of the investment. So we're going to take our first 2 equations, and we're going to cancel out because this has X and Y in it. We're probably going to cancel Z in the first 2. Then we're going to combine that equation we get from there with this equation and cancel either X or Y. Once we find one variable, we're going to reverse substitute. So let's start by canceling. We'll say cancel. And we're going to cancel we said Z value. So that's X plus Y plus Z equals 81,000. This is 0.08x plus 0.06y plus 0.09z equals 63.90. We're going to start by multiplying the top equation, because we're canceling z, by negative 0.09. Can't see the 9. 0.09. So that gives you negative 0.09x minus 0.09y minus 0.09z equals 9% of 81,000 is 7,290, but it's negative because I multiplied by negative 0.09. Now I'm going to combine these together. When I combine this together, I get negative 0.01x. This is negative 0.03y. This cancels, and I'm left with 6390 minus 7290 is negative 900. Now I'm going to take this and combine it with this equation. But first, I'm going to multiply this out. So it's 0.08x equals, that's 0.36y. And then we'll subtract it over. So it's 0.08x minus 0.36y equals 0. And now I'm going to cancel out, I think I'm going to cancel out the x value here. So let's cancel x. We're going to have 0.08x minus 0.36y equals 0. And then we're going to have negative 0.01x minus 0.03y equals negative 900. We're going to multiply this by 8 because 0.01 times 8 is 0.08. That's going to give you negative, I shouldn't have put that line there yet. Whoa. Got a little excited. Negative 0.08x minus 0.24y equals negative 900 times 8, negative 7,200. Now I'm going to add these together. So I'm going to kind of cross that out, add these together. This one with this one is 0. This and this gives you negative 0.6y equals negative 7,200. Divide by negative 0.6, we get y equals 12,000. So the first amount had 12,000 in it. The second account had 12,000. So now we need to reverse substitute the 12,000. So we go back to one of our equations, which we had right here, and we start putting 12,000 in and solving for x. So we get 0.08x minus 0.36 times 12,000. I'm going to slide this over. Equals 0 times 36%. That's 0.08x minus not 0.36, minus 4,320 equals 0. Add that over, you get 0.08x equals 4,320. Divide by 0.08 on each side. So divided by 0.08, 54,000. So our first investment had 54,000 invested. So now all we got to do is find our last piece of information, which is our last investment, z. Well, we can go back to our original equation, x plus y plus z is 81,000. So we can say 54,000 plus 12,000 plus z equals 81,000. Subtract those two over and you get z equals, well, that's 66,000. So it looks to me like z is going to be 15,000 if we subtract those over. So 81,000 minus 54,000 minus 12,000. 15,000 it is. So we get z is 15,000. So our coordinate that you need to write at the very end would be $54,000 for the first investment, $12,000 for the second investment, and $15,000 for the third investment. And that's the solution to the system.